everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Madhouse Podcast. I'm your host, Maddie Smith, and I'm also today's guest. That's right, we've got a solo episode for you guys. Thinking, why not do one of these every couple months, every month or something, just to check in, say what's up. Last week I had a birthday, so I'm feeling fresh as F, you know what I'm saying? Thank you. Say it, guys, thank you. We have a lot of updates this week. I asked my Instagram followers to ask me a question, so a large chunk of this pod, I'm going to be answering some questions from my thirsty following, my cult following. And you know, usual announcements up top. Thanks everyone for staying tuned to the podcast. We've had some great guests recently, and my tour's been launching off the ground. The Bad Genes tour has been going deliciously well. That's all I'll say. Things have been cooking. I'm upcoming dates, maddysmithcomedy.com. For Halloween weekend, you can catch me doing 5 shows at the Arlington Draft House in Arlington, Virginia. That's in D.C. In November, I'm coming to Boca Raton, Florida. I'm coming to Atlanta, Boston, Providence, MaddySmithComedy.com. You can catch me this week in Minneapolis at the 10,000 Laughs Comedy Festival. You guys can scroll down a little bit there. And then in November, I'm also coming to Spokane and Tacoma, Washington. Love those 2 clubs there. So check me out, MaddySmithComedy.com. Dates are being added. 2026 is filling up. And if you guys are listening, if you guys are Guest Digital fans, I'm filming a little 30-minute special with Gas Digital at the Creek in the Cave in January. So we are very excited. I think we got Butterly on there. I don't know who else is doing it. Saggy Daddy was supposed to, but I don't know if he is anymore. So that's the tea. I don't want to drop any hot tea, but that's the tea. But you guys can catch me. So I don't even know if those tickets are yet. All I know, it's going to be a time and a half. Love the Creek in the Cave. Love performing in Austin. Oh, your girl performed at the Mothership for the first time a couple weeks ago. Oh my God. I'm red-pilled now. I'm fully conservative, anti-vax. I am Tony Hinchcliffe. It was a pretty regular show. I crawled over there after doing one of those OnlyFans LMAOF tapings, which, for what it's worth, was actually pretty fun. We had, Fiona was in here. She was saying, I don't know if you should. Shit was fun as fuck. I did some filthy ass material. I was talking about sucking dick. I was talking about eating. I was talking about more. I was talking about shaving. I was talking about bush. Also, and they ate it up. Bunch of bitches and hoes in the audience. And we were laughing. We had a good time. Everyone says, oh, LMAOF TV. Yeah, well, you know what? Guess what? They pay, and they had a full audience in a club. I did a Don't Tell set. You know how many people were in that audience? 20. 20 people in an art gallery. No shade, but that's that. And then I crawled over to the Mothership, shook hands, kissed the ring. I saw Joe Rogan in person, in flesh, for the first time in my life. And I got to say, he was... Are we allowed to say? I don't even know what we're allowed to say anymore. He was tiny. He's tiny. We were in the Mitzi's bar area. Shane was there, obviously. Shane, shout out the big dog. Shout out Shane. Gotta love Shane. Shane was there. Obviously Nate, Lemaire. Everyone was there. It was a real who's who, as in, who are these people? No, I'm kidding. But then you'd look over, I'm like, what is that? What is that basketball in the middle? It's Joe Rogan's head. Veiny mother. You see his head on the JRE, the Joe Rogan Experience, and you say, that's a big head. In person, it's bigger than you can even imagine. Big, thick skull you can see the testosterone pulsing right through his veins, right in his head. Big I wanted to dribble. I wanted to pick up his head and play pig with it. You know what I mean? I want to play knockout with that thing. It was fucking huge. I look over in Mitzi's bar. He's right there, like he's trying to get smoke out of his head or something. But I did shout out Brian Simpson has that show there. It's called Bottom of the Barrel. So you just go up and you pick freaking topics out of a bucket and riff on him. Murdered, obviously Slade crushed murdered, because what is the Mothership without Maddie Smith? You know what I mean? signed the wall, put my hand on the wall, jizzed in the toilet. It was amazing. It was fine. It was regular. So that's that. Come out to my shows. The Bad Jeans tour is amazing, and I want to shout out. Everyone who sent me little birthday wishes last week. I spent my birthday in the Catskills. Got a little Airbnb, what they call a cabin in the sky. Took a bunch of shrooms and just got goofy as hell. We were laughing. Caroline was there. We were laughing. We laughed all day. God, I love shrooms. Every time I'm on shrooms, I'm like, why can't I feel like this all the time? I'm light on my feet. I'm laughing at everything. I'm telling stories. Things are vivid. Music's making me cry. I'm looking at the mountains. I'm shedding tears. I'm like, I'm going to feel like this forever. Then I wake up the next day. Shit, bitch. It never sticks. It never sticks. We got some questions we're going to answer for you guys today. That's all I have to say. I thought all of that was going to be 20 minutes. I made pork chops this week. I'm still thinking about them. You guys don't even know. I went to the butcher shop for the first time in my life. I woke up 2 days ago. I said, I'm making pork chops. I went to the butcher near me, a butcher international meat market in Astoria. I said I would like 2 bone-in pork chops. And it took me over 30 years to go to the butcher, and it was worth it. Because you're going to stop eating grocery store meats from then on. Because it was meaty. And I'm going to tell you guys how I made these pork chops. I did that sweet pepper, that cherry pepper kind of deal. So I did, seared them. Obviously, put salt and pepper. Coat that shit with salt and pepper, both sides of the chops, okay? You dry them out a little with a paper towel. You want to dry them out, okay? You want to dry them out with a paper towel. Salt, pepper, load it up. Now you're going to want to put some olive oil. Doesn't matter what oil, actually. Doesn't matter. People have been telling me to use that olive oil that green, that olive oil that's getting popular now. It's got the Japanese vibe. I don't like that, okay? Standard olive oil. Let that olive oil glisten in the pan. Toss in the pork chops. You're going to want to sear both sides. Not too much, though. You're just trying to brown them. 5 to 8 minutes tops in that pan. What I didn't mention is that you want that oven preheated to 425 because you're going to toss that cast iron skillet right in the oven. Right in the oven. And you're just going to let that sit right in the oven for, 18, 20 minutes. You're going to want an internal temperature of over 185, okay? You're going to let that right in there. You take it right out of the oven after 20 minutes. You take the pork chops, put them right in a plate. They're going to keep cooking on that plate. So you put them on. Don't worry. You don't want to overcook the pork chops because that's how you get. You're going to put them right on the plate. Take that same pan. I'm telling you guys, one pan meal. You put that pan right back on the stove. You put it right back on the stove. Get that up, right medium. Olive oil right in the pan. Now you're going to throw a bunch of garlic. Slice up that garlic. And throw it right in the pan. A bunch of cherry pepper. You know what I'm talking about? Those sweet cherry peppers. A little pepper. Right in the brine. Bunch of those. Slice them up. Put them right in the pan. Let those sizzle up. Now here's where you get the sauce made. Turn that shit up to high. Now you're going to throw in some dry white wine. Maybe a little brine from the cherry peppers. Maybe a little brine. Chicken broth. Throw it right in. Now you're scraping the pan. You're scraping the pepper and garlic right out of the pan. You're going to want to let that sauce evaporate half. Now, once this liquid is half of what it was, now you got a sauce. Take that, put it right on the pork chops. Voila, dinner is served. Do not even get me started on chicken, because most be f***ing up chicken left and right. I know chicken has a bad rap, but when I make chicken breast at home, it does not taste like what I'm getting at the store. Restaurants. You know what else I'm done with in terms of chicken? When you go to like a deli and they got those cubes of chicken for a salad. Those cubes of chicken for salad. Oh my God. It's got texture of like a toy, like a kid would play with, like a foam toy. None on one of those. That just reminds me of working in corporate America, baby. There's no reason anyone should be eating a cube chicken from a deli, okay? So, notes for my birthday, go out to eat less. If you're gonna go out to eat, go somewhere where you can't get that thing that's on that menu. You know what I mean? You go somewhere and get a banh mi you never had before. Go somewhere and get a katsu ramen with a panko breadcrumb that you ain't never made before. Go somewhere and get a freaking do a hot pot, okay? But don't go to new American restaurants because they're scamming you. You know how much it costs to make a sweet potato risotto? $2. $2.25 if I had to guess. Sweet potatoes are basically free at this point. Risotto? What is that, rice? Rice is basically free too. Oh, they put mushrooms on top though, so yeah, they were probably locally foraged. Suck my dick. I'm done. I'm done with New American. I'm done with the fake local. Oh, microgreens from our urban farm. No. No, because those are from Costco, okay? I'm done. Rant complete. Thank you. You know, it's not every day you just get to say what you want, right? Now, some good food I had. Caroline's boyfriend made a little campfire stew. I had a whole pot over a fire. Destroyed. Caroline's boyfriend this Airbnb we stayed in. I think we were the first guests to ever stay there, and Caroline's boyfriend just destroyed the cookware. And then we were walking out at 12:30, and the cleaner pulled up, and she was like, "Checkout was 11, guys. What are we doing?" I'm like, "Well, you're here at 12:30, mother." And you know why we're getting out late? Because we cleaned the whole place. Because you guys asked us to clean the place. And then I paid a $200. What are we talking about? I pay a cleaning fee and I still get yelled at. I'm done. I'm done with Airbnb. And yet I continue to use it. Because at the same time, I go back and forth. Because when I'm in Airbnb, I'm like, this is so much better than a hotel. Then when I'm in a hotel, I'm like, Airbnb. So. What else is up in my life? I did a college gig last night. I went to Detroit. I went to a little college an hour west of Detroit called Albion College. Of course, I get on stage. I go, "What's up, Albion?" They go, "It's not Albion." I'm like, "What is it?" Albion. I'm like, "Oh my God. You guys are not ready for the real world." I got to tell you guys, every time I do a college gig, I'm like, the future of America is fucked. I don't know if I only do college gigs at places where, you know, the admission rate is 1,000%, but these kids are slow. I can say it now because I already cashed the check and I am out, but they look at me like I'm the insane one, and I'm like, you guys are so dumb. Of course, it's a college gig, and the last college gig I did, it was in Delaware. It was a packed room. They were laughing. Oh, they were laughing. There was like over 100 people. The one last night, I walked in at huge venue. It was, a venue that seats over 200, 300 people. There was 18 kids. I was like, yes, awesome. Because, why would I go? I mean, this is my Saudi Arabia Comedy Festival is doing colleges. It's for the money, okay? There's no, I did it to learn about their culture. No, I'm doing it for the hard cash. So if I show up and I know my guarantee is multiple Ks plus, and I see 18 kids, that's an easy gig. When I see a packed room at a college gig, I go, oh my God, come on. 18 people. I'm asking everyone what their major is. I'm telling them, why are you going to school here? Oh, you guys are all on scholarship? That makes sense. This no school spirit. Before I went to the gig, I looked up Albion College. Apparently 3 years ago, they went bankrupt. And now they're on like a 4-year plan to like fix their finances or else they're going to close. It's one of those liberal arts schools you're like, who the fuck goes here?
That's like an entire class is figuring out how to save the school.
Yeah. They're like, we have a new opportunity for students who are in finance. And the goal is to totally revamp the Albion structure and flip it on its head. If I was running for president, I would say close 50% of private schools, private colleges, 50% of them. shuttle all those Albion kids over to Michigan, over to Michigan State, because what are we doing? When I was in high school, I was looking at these colleges in New York State that are private, thinking, who the hell is going to these schools? Because for me, it was like SUNY or bust, or it was like SUNY or a big name, For me, I was like, of course, my dad sat me down, February of senior year and was like, you have to apply to SUNYs. We can't afford anything. I'm like, okay, we'll suck my dick. Because I wanted to go to, California. I was like, I'll go to UCLA. We shot down. You're staying in the Buffalo region. And, I had a cousin who went to Elmira. And then you got Siena College and all these. I'm like, what are these $50K a year to go to a private school that ain't nobody know about? At least with state school, you can just say SUNY. At least with state school, I went to Long Island this weekend and everyone knows what SUNY is there. Shout out Governor's Comedy Club. That's where I posted up this past weekend. Bunch of trash bags. If you think freaking Long Island, that's one place where a joke will go right over everyone's head. I was in that audience. I was like, man, y'all are so slow. But my mom's from Long Island, so I have to respect. My mom grew up in a place called Belmore in Long Island, and she went to Mepham High School. And at Mepham High School in the 90s, big hazing incident. Big hazing. They got caught stuffing broomsticks and pine cones in football players' asses. I was like, yo, Mom, you're trash. She was like, I'm disgusted. So, that's really my latest updates. I did an Albion. I did a college gig. College gigs are funny because, the one adult who works there, the one guy who worked at the college was like, I'm going to tell you this right now. These kids suck. You can do whatever you want with this time. I don't care how long you do. I don't care how short you do. Because this place sucks. I do not affiliate with this college. I do not care about this college. These students are special and not in a good way. And then the guy who was also with me, he was like, it was like me and two black dudes. I don't know how this Albion college ended up getting an urban booking, but, so it was me and this other guy, Mr. Bankshot or whatever, some comic in Atlanta. He's like, the host couldn't come, so it's just us two, so I figure I'll do some jokes, you do some jokes, and then I think we can just play games with them for 45 minutes. I'm like, yes! So we played trivia with these kids. We threw out T-shirts. I'm making up trivia on the spot because I'm a genius. Like, I'm up for a MacArthur grant. So I'm making shit up, and I think I'm giving them easy questions. My first question, I'm like, okay, they're college kids, so I don't want to go too easy. So I'm like, okay, who, for a free T-shirt, wants to tell me the first vice president of the United States? Motherfuckers went, duh. I'm like, do you guys know the answer?
John Adams?
Jorge doesn't know. Wow.
Was it John Adams?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, Jorge. So I'm showing my privilege because to me, I thought that was an easy one.
No. I should know it,
Yeah, you should.
but,
Motherfuckers saying, John Kennedy, James Madison. So I'm like, all right, Michigan. All right, I'll give a T-shirt to the first person who can name 5 Great Lakes. They go, the fuck? I'm like, oh my God. We're fucked. Then I asked one guy his major. He goes, pre-med. And I say, what do you want to do? He's like, firefighter. I'm like, oh. I can't do it anymore. I say mostly pre. When you say pre, you finish. You do the thing that is the pre. You pre-cum, you come. Right? Of course, I said that on stage. And of course, if you say anything dirty at a college, they go, oh my God. Insane. Then I'm on my flight this morning in Detroit. I got upgraded to first class, obvious, because I'm Delta Diamond. Not a flex at all, because whatever. I'm reading on my phone, and people are still boarding. I look up, and there's a couple that are like, I don't know, in their 50s, and they're like, I think it's her. I look up at them, and the one guy's like, are you Maddie Smith? I go, no. Yes! And they say, what the heck are you doing? I said, I was doing a gig at Albion. And then I said, I don't know when I'm going to be in Detroit next. They go, we're visiting New York this weekend. I say, what are you guys doing tonight? I'm at the Comedy Cellar. They're, oh, what, 6:30 show? I'm like, no, it's later. They're like, oh, we'll find it. And then so maybe I'll see those. Maybe I'll see them later. I get recognized a lot at this point. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I get recognized kind of a lot. And I can see people staring. Not in a way that's like, if you go out with Bert or Theo, it's like, a flash mob forms behind them. But I see people stare. So I'm trying to get my, flagrancy on lockdown. I'm trying not to be short and terse and attitude with people anymore because now I can get on edge, okay? Especially in airports, that's a hot laser zone for me. So I'm really trying to put that on lock because I'm not trying to get on a Reddit page of, Maddie Smith was mean to me too in Starbucks and in the airport and at the rent-a-car center. But it's, people are so, yesterday I rented a car, budget is nowhere to be found. Oh, look at that. Budget's inside Avis now because every rental car is owned by the same company. Because you go to Avis and the guy who's at budget just walks from budget to give you the car. Today I'm in the bus shuttle area to get a bus. This woman's like, "You waiting for the bus?" I'm like, "Yeah." She points down the road where 4 buses are sitting. She's like, "They right there." I'm like, "Well, it looks like why would I?" And you know what would happen if I go to those buses? They would say, "You can't get on this bus." You know what I mean? Like there's no. I sit where the bus shuttle is supposed to come, and then I looked at her. I said, "It looks like they're on break. Go get on that bus." I can't do it anymore. I actually can't do it anymore. So that's how I feel. Kim Kardashian has a new underwear out. Kim Kardashian has underwear that looks like pubes. Kim Kardashian has underwear that looks like pubes.
I guess that's good for, maybe people who are on chemotherapy.
Absolutely. I didn't even consider that, and I'm so sorry.
That's the only thing I could think of.
Caroline, I don't think they were thinking about that at all. But that's definitely a really progressive stance.
That was also the argument when they came out with the Skims bras with like the fake nipples in them, where it's like, oh no, it's also like supposed to be like healthy looking for like those with cancer, other deformities and stuff.
Breast cancer.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I was thinking, some of us don't. Some of us have naturally warm nipples, so. For me, yeah, I could see, the nipple, and you want to see what it's like to have hard nipples, but yeah. The Bush one is a stretch for me. I mean, they're kind of cute though. They're kind of cute. Like they're kind of cute.
I like them.
They're kind of.
I just don't understand. Like, I guess maybe are they like? They almost look like props.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
Yeah, they look like fake beards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a fun bit to do. On
I
like
think
a first
it's
date.
fun. I think if you're Kim K and if you got gobs of money and the stupid company with material made from China, yeah, you might as well like they have like Skims. I'm on their email list. They have new drops every day. And I own Skims stuff. It's not good product. It's made from the same stuff as Shein. So I props to Kim K for just continuing to do that thing of scamming us. Because guess what she does? She gets us talking. Those stay in the zeitgeist. Once a day, I think about the Kardashians. The mom looks like the daughters now. Kris Jenner went to Turkey and came back 20 years old. And it's scary. Kylie Jenner is putting out music. That's a recession indicator. The only one who looks normal is Kourtney. And people on Twitter are calling her a fat hag. Okay? So, what are we doing? What I will say about the Kardashians is I have heard that they are not mean people. People who work with them, you never heard anything. I've heard Kim Kardashian is a very nice person. I don't want to be that guy, but I think they're kind of nice people. Like when I watch the Kardashians, I kind of like Kim and Kris. I like Kim and Kris together.
They seem fun to hang out
They
with.
seem fun. They seem very mom. Like it seems fun to shit talk with them. It's like, I don't know.
It's like they weren't always billionaires. At one point, they were normal until like what Kim and whoever the older one is, they were like late like teenagers. I think is when they actually got money and everything popped off with like OJ and shit.
Yeah, and the sex tape.
Well, that was later, but like
Yeah.
they were like a normal
They were regular.
like upper middle class.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they have all that built in.
Yeah. And then Bruce, you know, the Kardashians are so cool that Bruce wanted to be one of the girls. He probably looked at them and was like, I want to do my nails. Like, if I was a Kardashian, I would not be surprised when my dad transitioned. Like, it makes total sense. Bunch of girls. Look at Rob. Haven't seen him in years. Fat. Anyway, that's what's up with my life. I asked you guys to submit me some questions, so we're going to freaking go into that. We got Ask Maddy Anything, and let's rock and roll. All right, so I asked my followers, we're going to do a free Ask Maddy Anything, and let's freaking...
He's a real attitude. He's got a bad attitude. One might feel he's real. He's a real attitude. Rattlesnake, 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 rattlesnake.
Hey everyone, we got questions for Maddy. So we're going to start off with this question. And this question says, okay, this is a good question. How much do you hate the Legion of Skanks universe? Be honest. Now, that's a good question. That's a good question because...
Right.
Do I hate the Legion of Skanks universe? Yes, I do. I hate it so much that I've put my podcast on the Gas Digital Network. I go to Skankfest every year and I do stuff for the Gas Digital platform, and I freaking have blind mic on my emergency contacts. Like, what are we talking about? If I'm doing a show like on the road and I see a dude in Skanks stuff or Lewis stuff or Jay, or if I see a Skanks tattoo, I'm doing the whole show for that guy because I know that guy is a fan of comedy. So how much do I hate the Skanks universe? Not at all. They're fun as even the bonfire, fun as anything with Jay, Lewis. The only thing I'll say about Skanks is I'm not good on Legion of Skanks. So that's really what I'm going down to. When Lewis asked me to do it, I go, oh, man, the asshole. I don't know. I never know when to cop in. And then the problem with Legion of Skanks is I get high off my gourd, and then you're looking at yourself on the projector. So I'm just looking myself in the eyes like, what have you done, Maddy? Now I'm high. I'm looking at the black baby on the table. Dave Smith screaming about how his wife should be in the kitchen, you know, getting and then Jay saying the N-word. So it just puts me in a place of I'm too high and I don't know where to jump in. But, you know, it's better to not say anything than be annoying, right? I'll say that. I just feel, I've had a couple of skanks. I've had a couple of good skanks. I actually think my first one I did really well. Then the second one I was like too high. And then the third one I was on with Andrew Schultz, and yeah, it was just a big suck-off fest. So I don't hate it at all. I think it's funny as f***. Am I supposed to hate it? Probably. But if I did, then I wouldn't be at Skankfest literally sucking off all the fans there. Skankfest is the funnest festival ever. Because you walk down the street and be like, Maddy Smith, Maddy, huge fan, Maddy. I'll have other comedians be like, I don't know if I should go. I don't know if the Skanks vibe is my vibe. Then you get there, it's regular comedy fans, and you're hanging out with Dave Attell, Tim Dillon, Joe List. My old manager was such a jerk off. By the way, my old manager manages Whitney Cummings and Joe Gatto. And dropped me for making fun of him on a podcast. Doggy, you're representing a and that's all I'll say. Okay? And then my old manager would be, He was resistant about us joining Gas Digital. I had to get on the horn with him and say, we're doing it. Stop it. Stop it right now. He would say stuff like, I don't know if Skankfest is a good look for us. Okay, so you're going to stop me from doing stuff, so I'm going to sit at home instead of going to Skankfest? You f***ing dweeb. By the way, shout out.
That's what's up, nigga.
So, question number 1, done. Question number 2, do you like circus peanuts? I want to so bad. I want to so bad. They look better than they are. Stop. Seriously. It's just...
You suck.
Okay, I think they look better than they are. And every time I have one, I'm like, I'd rather eat a peep than a circus peanut. If a circus peanut tasted like a peep, I would eat a circus peanut. Circus peanuts look so good, but they suck. Same thing as candy corn for me. So that's right. I said it.
He's a real ass dude.
I gotta stop. I guess Lewis and Zach doesn't exist anymore, so I can I'm doing throwbacks, right? You know what I mean?
Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to put your hands in the sky for the rattlesnake. Thank you, rattlesnake. Praise him.
This question says, how big are your feet? 8.5, sometimes 9. This question says, what is your favorite sex position? Lights off, t-shirts on, he leaves the room. Next. I don't know. I guess they're all kind of fine. If I'm going to be honest, you know, I got a tough thing with my bladder. So a lot of spots hit my bladder in a way that just the minute that shit hits, I know I'm going to have a UTI the next day. So anything that men like to do, which is, what do you guys like to do? Curl us up into little tiny balls, put our heads over put our knees at our fucking heads, bend us over while standing up, all that shit punctures my bladder. So all that shit, what you guys like to do, that's what guys like to do. They like to take our feet and put our feet at our heads. And that shit puts tears in my eyes. And I always wondered, is that supposed to feel good? Like that, because it feels like there's a knife in my bladder when you guys do that. Of course, I never say no. But in my head, I'm like, oh God, please make it stop. I like doggy because then you can just sit like this with your hand. You can just sit there with your head in your hand while he does his thing. I like going on top. Sometimes if I feel skinny, I'll get on top and I'm like, But if I had any food that day, you will not catch me on top. So very limited when it comes to sex with Maddy. Sometimes what can be fun is, bending over the bed, because that's like, yeah, I'm a porn star. Ooh, I'm a little porn star. Ooh, I'm a porn star. I got to drink more water, though. My shit's been dry as f***. You know what I'm saying?
Shining snake, shining snake, shining snake, shining snake.
Blame Shannon.
Okay, so this question says, favorite movie of all time. So I started listing one, and then I wrote 20, because I can't just pick one. When you say favorite movie, I think of movie you could watch over and over and over and over and over and over again. So for me, hate to admit, it's A Star Is Born. I know, but I could watch it 5,000 times. You ever see A Star Is Born, Jorge?
No, I refuse.
Oh, we should do a watch. We should do a watch party with Gas. We should do a watch party.
Okay.
As long as you're okay with me singing.
Of course. Of course.
Oh my God.
And I actively encourage you singing.
I know it's a corny movie, but I love it. I love the idea of a rock stars that still exists. Jackson, Maine. This rock star that doesn't exist, and I guess maybe Zach Bryan would kind of be like people who are like selling out stadiums. Even though Zach Bryan to me is not hot, but Jackson, Maine, big artist. I like it because of the show business of it all. The Lady Gaga's living in Queens. Andrew Dice Clay is her dad. He owns a driving company. He's got his drivers. They're watching her sing, and she's going viral now. The rise, and she's got her agent who's saying, you got to ditch Jackson. He's bad, and Jackson's addicted to drugs. It's an up and down, and she's rising and rising. They're changing her hair. They're changing her hair. Her songs are going from heartfelt melodies to, why did you do that to me? She starts, the whole Star is Born, and she starts and she's like, I don't sing my own songs. And Jackson Maine's like, you gotta sing your own songs. And she sings him a song in the parking lot, and then he brings her out to a show, and he's got the whole song written out. How? I don't know. She sings with him. It goes viral. Now she's on the road with him. I'm alone in my house. She's getting on the tour bus. She's putting her hat on. She's throwing a donut in his face because he's saying his songs are corny. Now he's drunk. Now he's up. Now he's going to his friend Dave Chappelle in Memphis now he's putting a wedding ring around her finger, and it's made of a guitar string, okay? She's saying, I'm not doing the drug thing anymore, Daddy. And what does he do? He gets up again. Climax of the movie comes when he gets so up. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen the movie, you can tune out right now. He gets so up, she wins Grammy for Best Artist of the Year. He joins her on stage. What does he do? Pisses his mother pants. Doesn't get more crazy than that. People shit on that movie. It's heartfelt. It's emotional. It's about more than just, the rise, okay? It's about how people handle everything. It's about being grateful for what you have. We close out the movie with a solo from Lady Gaga, singing to her husband, who, of course, kills himself, another spoiler alert, in the garage, cooks a steak for his dog, takes a bunch of pills, hangs himself in the garage while she's on stage. Gotta love it. So that's a movie I could watch over and over and over again. But there's so many others. Obviously, right here in the studio with us, wedding singer and Austin Powers, international man of mystery, top 2 comedy movies, in my opinion. Wedding Singer is there with A Star is Born in that if someone put a gun to my head and said you had to watch these movies every day, I would easily would watch A Wedding Singer every single day of my life. I wanna make you smile whenever you're sad. Carry you around when your arthritis is bad. Oh, all I wanna do is grow old with you. The problem with those movies is it makes us think that men like Robbie Hart are real. 'Cause they're not. You grow up watching The Wedding Singer. You think a guy's gonna sing you a song on an airplane and Billy Idol's gonna be there. But it's not gonna happen. That's why I stopped relying on men for validation, because at the end of the day, it's not gonna. I'm done with the movies. Oh, The Notebook. Oh, Noah wrote. Oh, I wrote you every day for a year. No man has ever written me a note. No man has ever said anything about his love for me unless I ask. And you know what they say? Yeah, I love you a lot. How much, bitch? I've never had a moment where a man professes and confesses how much I changed his life and what I've done. That's why bitches cry at weddings. We're not crying tears of happiness. It's sadness. Because we see grooms share their vows and we know it's never going to happen for us. And we look at our boyfriends and we cry tears of disappointment. And then our boyfriends look at us and they say, what time did you want to leave? Other movie shout-outs. Of course, I have 500 listed here. Dumb and Dumber, another 10 out of 10 comedy. 500 Days of Summer, I could also watch that every day. Shout out to the original 500 Days of Summer, Chilly Scenes of Winter. Joan Macklin Silver. movie made in the 70s, 80s. Don't sleep on that. Mean Girls, Oliver and Company, Spotlight, The Departed, Spinal Tap, F1, Tropic Thunder, Before Sunrise series, King of Comedy, Life of Brian, Clueless, Bend It Like Beckham, Shrek, Social Network, Mystic Pizza, American Beauty. Any that I missed that you guys also love? I basically listed every good movie.
Crossing Delancey.
Crossing Delancey, another fire movie. Sometimes I watch a movie from the 60s, 70s, 80s. I go, this is the best fucking movie I've ever seen in my fucking life. Ingmar Bergman, Autumn Sonata, Cassavetes, or whatever it is. Husbands.
What's the one?
Barefoot in the Park.
Oh yeah.
Rear Window.
Rear Window.
Any Monty Python. Life of Brian is like ahead of its time.
So funny.
They were making like trans jokes. I'm like, I love like old movies that have the same relationship arguments that we have today. Robert Redford is hot as I would have let him hit my bladder in ways that it's never been hit before. I just watched Quiz Show. You guys ever seen that in 1992? A movie about the game show that first brought on, legislative change to game shows where you make money. Because they found out that the show 21 whatever was rigged. And so this movie had John Turturro, whatever his name is, and that other guy who I think played a Nazi in Zone of Interest.
Fines?
Yeah.
Ray Fiennes?
Was he in Zone of Interest?
Oh, he was in Schindler's List.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was a Nazi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a Nazi face.
Mm-hmm.
So John Turturro is the quiz show guest, and story of my life. He's winning, and then producers tell him, you're plateauing, so you got to throw the game. We're going to ask you what the best picture in 1955 was. You're going to say On the Waterfront. And he's going to say, you're telling me I know all the answers and I don't know Marty? Load of crock. But Hot Lawyer comes in. It's a big Wasp versus Jew movie. I'll tell you that much. Big Wasp versus Jew movie. Speaking of wasps, I just read a book called Bonfire of the Vanities by Tom Wolfe. I don't know if you guys read books out there, but wonderful, wonderful, wonderful book about the 1980s New York City race, everything going on. That was a good question. Write in some of your favorite movies and write in if you think I have good movie tastes. Okay, next question. This question says, how did you stop drinking and what made you stop? I was having too much fun for too many years. As many of you know, when I drink, I can't stop. Now, I do feel, now that it's been almost 2 years off the sauce, with a couple sips here and there and a couple Guinness over in Dublin, Guinness that I was white knuckling and wondering the entire time, should I have another one or should I stop? So, one weekend of full control in Ireland would probably end up, I would, if I kept drinking, I probably wouldn't. My problem is it feels really good and I'm a lot of fun when I drink and I don't want to stop. One of the first times I ever the first time I drank was in high school. It was after freshman year. My friend Toey and my friend Sydney. My friend Sydney had a lake house on Lake Erie. We went up there and me and Sydney were like, let's drink tonight. And we were like all sneaky all day. We're like, we're going to drink tonight. And I got blasted on Grey Goose. I threw up everywhere. I had a boyfriend at the time. He was 6'5". I got blackout, and I was telling my friend Sydney, her older sister, and her older sister's friends, I was like, his dick is this big. It's blackout off my mind. And I didn't drink for a little bit. And then senior year, my friend graduated high school early, and I went to a party at Buffalo University. Again, I got blackout, threw up in a cab, threw up all day the next day. That was the next day when I threw up in a cup at Panera Bread in front of my dad. Did I tell you guys this story?
I think I've heard it before, but I don't know if you said it on here.
Okay, so this was senior year of high school. My friend Travis went to University of Buffalo. He said, "Do you want to come to this party with me?" I'm like, okay. So we go. I get blasted in some Buffalo apartment. I'm having a time of my life. I'm blackout. I mean blackout like I don't remember the party at all. I wake up. Oh my God. My friend Travis was living in a dorm. He had a roommate. And it was in fall, so he didn't really know the roommate. We're 17, 18. We come home at 2 a.m. and the roommate's getting f***ed in the ass by another guy. The roommate was getting f***ed in the ass by another guy. I don't remember anything from that night other than walking in on the roommate like facing me with a guy f***ing him in the ass. And I'm like, ah! So we outed his ass. Now Travis the rest of the year knows he's got a gay roommate. The next day I threw up in the dining hall. Made it back home. I think I was driving at the time, so I drove home that morning. I was like 20 minutes away. Of course, my parents are divorced, so my dad, like clockwork, at noon is like, where are we going to lunch? I'm like, can we take one weekend off? Picks me up. We go to Panera. And this is the first time in my life that and this has happened to me 500 times since, where I get so blackout the next day I'm throwing up until 5 p.m. So we get to Panera. I've already thrown up at my house. My mom is MIA because my mom's like a whore when I was in high school. I can say that because she's admitted to it. So she's out. She's probably at the gym or she was running 5Ks and sucking some guy off at a halal place in Buffalo. My dad picks me up. We go to Panera. And I get that tea at Panera that's like a purple color. It's like a purple iced tea. That's all I can take down. And the only thing in my stomach is this tea. I look at the single stall bathroom. It's closed. I know I've got less than a minute to figure out where to yak. So I walk to the drink station. I grab a cup this tall. I sit in front of my dad. And then I fill up the entire cup with the tea right in front of him. My dad, of course, got to give it to a divorced dad. He's never going to yell at you. He takes the cup. He throws it away. He laughs. He drives me home. That event happened 500,000 more times where I would get blackout and just throw. What I should have done was said, oh, I have a problem with alcohol. I didn't have reflective states until I was 30 years old. So all through college, I was blackout. They called me literal blackout Maddy in college. I would go out Wednesday through Sunday. I would work. I was the editor of the newspaper. We would work on it all Wednesday night. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I would get blackout off my mind. I would go to a soccer date party. I remember throwing up in the toilet. And my friend Eric was throwing up in the toilet next to me. We were lying. And then my friend Eric was like, Maddy, go to the bars. You have to go. Your friends are. I'm like, I can't leave you. Like, I was in the trenches. Then I graduated. Now I'm working in Rochester. Then I'm blacking out in Rochester. Then I moved to New York City. My first year in New York City, I'm going on OkCupid dates. And I'm blacking out on those dates. I think I had one period, 2016 to 2017, where I took off drinking. And that's when I went from 200 to like 160 pounds. Shed some weight. Because I was fat as f***. Because in college, I was up and down in weight. So a lot of my drinking in my mid-20s was because I was fat as f*** and I hated myself. So, drinking makes you feel not as fat as thought. So then, drinking. Then I get on Wild 'N Out. Now I have no job. Now I'm at Wild 'N Out. Right before COVID, I go to Wild 'N Out. 2019, we have a rap party where I get so blackout that the next day I'm throwing up I make my flight. Now, looking back, I'm like, I would have just slept all day and taken the flight later. But when you first start traveling, you're like, I can't miss a flight. Now I'm like, I'm looking at the plane as it's leaving. I'm like, do not care. I'll be moving flights like an hour beforehand. But when you first start traveling, you don't know, and you're at the helm of, you're at the behest of Viacom travel agents. So of course I find out later everyone's missing their flights, but I don't want to get fired. I don't want to get fired. So I get on the flight, but I brought an Nalgene with me, and multiple times I threw up in the airport, on the airplane, and getting off into an Nalgene. I had a window seat, and all you have to do is a tip for anyone who's an alcoholic. When you're throwing up and you can't stop and you have alcohol poisoning, just chug water because you're just going to throw up the water. You're going to throw up anyway, so it might as well be water and not bile. And I got so good at throwing up that it was like, I know it's so gross. I know it's so gross. Luckily, COVID helped me slow down. Post-COVID, we went on a bender. 2022, I kind of stopped, but then picked up 2023. 2023 was one of my biggest years in drinking because I was opening for Bert Kreischer. I was running amok. I was just wilding. It was post-COVID. It was roaring 20s. I got so blackout when I went to Australia with Bert Kreischer. We were there for 14 days. 7 out of those days, I was blackout. To the point where I had blood vessels popping in my eyes, splotchy eyes, clothes didn't fit. Just disgusting. The last time I drank was March 2024. I went to Todd Barry's birthday party. I've said this many times on the podcast. It was at Beauty Bar in Manhattan. It was a party. It was the 60th birthday party. I'm telling you, there was old people there. I sat at the bar with Corinne Fisher. The guy filled me up. I had 4 vodka sodas, one after the other, on an empty stomach. And then I'm throwing up. And that night, I never did this before. I pissed in my pants at the same time. Yep. I came back to my boyfriend's house with piss in my pants.
I didn't know you pissed in your pants.
Yep. I pissed my pants next to a tree. All I remember is standing next to a tree, pissed my pants, threw up. I was talking to some comic who I used to bang, who we had gotten into it because I shit talked him, and I remember being blackout, and I was like, I don't know, I'm sorry. He's like, I always liked you. I don't know why you did it. I was like, I don't know. Got home. The next day, I was late to the podcast. My cousin was on our podcast. We were supposed to record at 1 or something. I got there at 4 p.m. with a popped blood vessel in my eye, and I said, I'm done. So this guy's saying, how'd you do it? Cold turkey. But it's not really cold turkey because I wasn't drinking every day. It was social drinking. And the problem is, all of my friends, when I would get blackout, they would say, you are fine because I'm fun as f***. I'm fun as f***. Okay? So that's my journey. Do you guys have questions about my drinking journey?
Like, well, I feel like you said you were able to have like a beer in
Ireland, yeah.
Would you ever be able to have more than that, or like a drink? Somebody has no interest.
The problem is, when I was drinking my Guineas, like I could feel like the urge to have 16 more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that. Like I thought in the past year and a half, when I go back, it'll be, oh, it doesn't feel as good as I remember. No, it feels just as good as I remember. No, it feels just as good. Feels just as good. I don't see a world in which alcohol is in my life where have it and I'm not getting blackout. Mm-hmm. I don't see that happening. I see it getting carried. The only reason I didn't was because I was in another country and I was surrounded by men. And I didn't want to, even those, I know I had like 4 Guineas one day. I woke up, bottom of my feet hurt. It was painful. I don't see it. I think I have alcoholic tendencies. I don't think I'm an alcoholic. I think I have tendency to take it too far. Similar with snacking. Thank God I never got into cocaine because I would have been going through mountains of it. I don't understand people who have 2 drinks and then get sleepy. I don't understand people who have 2 beers and are like, I'm full. I don't understand people who are mixologists, who have little bar carts at home, who have little orange peels in their cocktails and who love the taste of a mojito. Because for me, it was never about the taste, unless it's a dirty martini, because I just love briny things. While I was drinking, I knew I was going to have to stop at some point, and there it is. I will say it's made my life easier. I go to bed on time. But you know what happens when you quit drinking? Oh, and then I spent a year being f***ing high off my gourd. So it's like, hey, Maddy, can you f***ing sit for a second? So that's my drinking story. I woke up and I said, this is not going to fit in my life anymore. This question says, who's your New York comic crush? Louis J. Gomez. Louis J. Gomez. Louis J. Gomez.
Channel snake, channel snake, channel snake, channel snake.
I would love to date Louis J. Gomez and like go through exactly everything what every other girl has gone through with him. And be like, nice. I'm no better than anyone else. You know, because, you know, he goes through them quick. You know what I mean? I could see Louis, like, love bombing me. And then 3 months in being like, you're f***ing annoying. I'm like, what? You said you loved that I was annoying 4 months ago. No, who's my New York comic crush? I don't know. Joe List? Joe List? Dan Soder? I don't know. Everyone's gross, kind of.
Like personality, I guess.
Okay, name some names. I'll do a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Or I'll do a sound effect. You name a name and I'll do a sound. I'll
like
do a
a comedian.
yeah, comedian in New York,
Male comedian.
male or female, for crush purposes only. This is nothing about their careers or their comedy.
Andrew Schulz.
Would.
Shane Gillis.
Would. Not New York though.
Oh, right. Mark Norman.
Would. It was so easy.
Karen Feehan.
Would.
You got any, Jorge?
Bonnie McFarlane. Rich Voss. 2018 Bobby Kelly.
Mike Cannon. Sagalo.
Feeney.
Naeem. Drew. I don't know. Who else is out there? John Marco. JK. Rachel Feinstein? Absolutely. That's one hot motive. Tell you that much.
Judy Gold.
Absolutely. Yes. 1 million times yes. Love that bitch.
Let's see. Corinne Fisher.
Yes.
I don't know some of these people.
Gio-
Justin Silver.
Justin Silver.
Josh Adam Myers.
Big. Over and over and over.
Zach Amico.
Zach Amico. Derek Drescher. Gio Perez.
Godfrey.
Call him.
You got any?
Drew Dunn. Drew Dunn over and over, yes.
Jeremiah Watkins.
Over and over, yes.
Um,
Doesn't live in New York, though.
all right.
I spilled matcha all over my front. Okay, this question says, okay, so now you guys all know how I feel about everyone.
He's a fag.
This question says, would you date someone with a good job who's not in entertainment? Absolutely. Green flag, left and right. Anyone who doesn't work in entertainment is my kind of guy. Because when I hear this,
I'm an artist.
I'm out.
Rubenesque.
Know what I'm saying? This question says, would you date a 33-year-old virgin?
You Jew mother, you.
Absolutely. I love the idea of a virgin because he's not riddled with someone else's shit. Okay? And you know that motherfucker's gonna come quick. And there's nothing I love more than a man who comes quick because that's a boost to my ego. Man comes quick, I say, I did that. That's my pussy. What make me nervous about a 33-year-old virgin, though, is that he's porned up. So he's probably going to go for choking immediately. But they all do now. You'll, like, make out with a guy, like, and he just, like, chokes you. You're like, we're just kissing. But thanks for going for my neck, mother. Okay, so this question says, do you like Spanish music? Absolutely, I love Bad Bunny. Titi mi coranto. Titi mi coranto. Ira ora. Ira ora. How's that song go? Bad Bunny. Titi mi coranto. But he ain't singing in English. Okay, a couple questions and then we'll wrap it up. This one says, have you ever hooked up with a fan after a show?
Why are you gay?
No. Do you know what I want to do after a show? Not talk to anybody. And do you know what fans are? Anybody. Yeah, I never hooked up with a fan after a show. I have had sex with a bartender after a show. And I was pretty blackout. So, would not recommend. This one says, would you date another ginger? No. Me and a ginger, that's going to look like Hansel and Gretel. I'm not doing it. That's way too many recessive genes for one family. So it just feels rude. Also, ginger guys, not really my type. Blonde guys, not my type. If you're a grown man and you have blonde or red hair, take some testosterone. You need to grow the fuck up. A grown man with blonde hair, I'm like, what's next? A nut allergy? No, absolutely not. Anyway, you guys, thanks for asking some questions. We got one more bit. We can do run bit by you. Then we can wrap it up, right? We got one more little segment for you guys. And this segment is called Run Bit by You. Okay, so this is a segment where I run bits that I want to do for stand-up by you guys, Jorge and Caroline. If you guys laugh, I'll keep it in. If you don't, I'll probably still keep it in. Okay, so this bit is about, I don't know if I told you guys this one, hiking. Hiking. You guys hike? Clap if you hike out there. Clap if you're big hikers out there. Yeah. Me too. Wow, very enthusiastic. Me too. I love to hike. I love to go on big hikes. What I love about hikes is that no matter how long it is, no matter what the weather is, no matter how exhausting it is, you turn a corner, you're going to run into an entire Indian family. Thanks. That's what I love about hiking. You could be doing the Pacific Crest Trail on mile 2000. Your boots have holes in them. They're duct taped around. You have blisters everywhere. You're aching for a piece of pizza. You turn that corner, and you're going to see an Indian man in slides and his wife in a sari. And they're going to say, good morning. And then their 3 kids are going to go, please go faster. We need to get exercise. And that's what I love about hiking. Always going to be an Indian family. Because Indian families take care of their kin. They tell their sons in the morning, you need to get fresh air today. I'm telling you, every single time I go on a hike when I'm on the road, all Indian families. All Indian families. I have a theory that God is a disappointed Indian father. He's looking down on us and saying, you have ruined it. Everything I set out for you, you have done it. Tarnished. You have tarnished all of this. Why? For what? For what? Okay, what do you guys think of my Indian people hiking bit?
I think it's funny. funny.
Okay. Jorge thinks it's racist, I can tell.
No, I think it's a very astute observation.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think it's funny. It's white people. You get a loop, 4-mile loop. White people got camelbacks, spikes in their shoes, sipping on water, eating like gel electrolyte packets, and then Indian man like, good morning. Indian man in a linen brown outfit and slides. Slides. Brown slides.
It's a flex.
It is a flex. Yosemite, all Indian families. A mother in a sari, 95-degree weather. No sweating. Not sweating at all. Okay, so this is another bit. Been going to a lot of weddings. Okay, this is a new bit. Caroline kind of knows this one. I've been talking to my set lately about how black people are more fun than white people. Everyone knows that. And you can see it. You can see it in their food. Their food is more fun. Their food is more fun. When why does Wild and Out exist? Because black people roast each other and they move on. White people don't roast each other. You piss off a white man, he'll shoot you in the head. You piss off a white woman, and then she pouts the rest of the night. If you piss off your white friend, like a white woman, you lose a friendship for a year. We don't have like roasting. Black people roast each other. Like if you tell a black guy that his boots look like sweet potatoes, he goes, hey, hey, and they look good as hell. And that's why black people age better, because they're chill. White people are so tense, we look 70 when we're 30 because we take everything personally. The number one place to see where black people are more fun than white people is at weddings. You ever see white people do the electric slide? That shit looks like a Chinese army. It looks like some extraterrestrial force is in their brains. Their eyes are like glazed over. It's electric. Grapevine, step forward, step back. Step 1, 2. No smiles. Arms don't move. It's like they're doing river dance. You go to a black people wedding, they're throwing, little hip dip. You got auntie yelling, you do that thing. Electric slide looks like a military formation when white people do it. And their eyes are straightforward. It's the funniest thing at a white person wedding because they get in formation. There's no smiles. And then the song ends and they're like, and then another song comes on, dancing. They're back dancing. But for the electric slide, hilarious. Okay, Jorge, what do you think of my electric slide bit? It's not funny, I can tell.
I really enjoyed that.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were going, how do I let her down easy? My problem is I think of a good thing, but I don't know how to expand. I watch Mike Vecchio and he has 6-minute bits. I have one line. I'm like, you ever see black people do the electric slide? It's pretty fun, isn't it? Anyway. Okay, one more thing. Going to weddings when you're sober is funny because then you get to watch everyone while out. So it's kind of like you're in National Geographic. Because you'll get to a wedding and everyone's so gelled up. Everyone looks so put together. The guy's hair, suits are tight. So nice to meet you. I heard so much about you. Yeah. You guys look great. You get in okay? Yep. Hotel's great. Love it. Everyone's breath smells good. Then when you're sober, you get to watch everyone escalate into mayhem. Same guy, 5 hours later, has a tie around his head. He's like, Maddy, when I saw you earlier, I would have f***ed you on the spot. But I got the old ball and chain here. It's the groom talking about the bride. Okay, that's my new wedding bit. What do you think?
I'm enjoying these.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, the segment is called Run Bit By You, so. The last thing I'll say about weddings, I don't think about weddings at all. I'm not a romantic person. I'm not someone who's like, oh, I have a Pinterest board for my wedding. Every time I get to a wedding, I say, I would have done all of this differently. I would have done all of this differently. The layout, that getting into the venue is a bottleneck. The way they had it set up, I would have done all of that differently. And then people are like, well, do you want to get married? No. Absolutely not. But I would have done all of this different. That dress does not fit. Does not fit. Flower girl? Dated. Dated. The cake? Dry. The food? Awful. 1 cocktail hour. That's what I would have done. When I don't have a wedding, I'll have 1 cocktail hour the entire night. We're going to feed my guests right into the party. Right into the party. We'll do a cocktail hour and we'll have it refilling. So it's not going to be, oh, go back to the table and it's stale cheese and no, or oh, now we have sliders. Now we have pizza. Hot fudge sundae. But I don't think I would do a thing where I make people sit down at tables. Certainly will not be, if I did a first dance, I would do 30 seconds of a first dance and then I would have the DJ say, let's get all the other couples up here. There's no reason for people to be watching me dancing for 3 minutes plus. Because I'm going to look out and I'm going to see Jorge on his phone and I'm going to get pissed. I'm going to look out, I'm going to see Louis J on his phone, I'm going to get pissed. Because Louis J will be at my wedding when it doesn't happen. Anyway, you guys, I guess that's it, right? I feel like I was boring as f***. Okay, word. Well, per usual, thanks you guys for tuning in. I hope everyone enjoyed the soundboard. We just installed it. I have to go. No. But I will be back next week. And thanks everyone for listening to the Madhouse. I couldn't do it without you. No, it's true. It's true. I couldn't. And I'm looking forward to next week. Please come see me on the tour. Shout out Caroline. Shout out Jorge. Shout out everyone in my life who's made things happen. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
He's a real ass dude. He's got a bad attitude. One might feel he's real. He's a real ass dude.